session number 2, which will be having two parts. So first we will discuss in our first part benefits of using the cloud services. And then we will be having the second part also. Domain 3, we will be discussing about all the benefits, because all the benefits, if we know the benefits, then we can suggest the companies that you can use these kind of benefits, and you can also get benefit from the cloud services. Cloud computing is not just about hosting application, because we are not just moving towards the cloud. We will be using for years. So that is why we need to think about that it is about giving the business to the power to handle changing demands. Like, it is not just we will take the service and we will go to the cloud and we will using the same service. No. So every time companies will be having different demands. Every time company will be requiring different improvements. Companies also have different clients, so different clients will be asking different things. So we need to adapt, or we need to change our requirements as per the requirement of the company, as per requirement of the customer, as per requirement of the market demand. So that is not only we are moving towards the cloud and we will be just using static services. No, we will be having a dynamic aspect of that. So by the end of this session, what we will be understanding about availability, scalability, reliability, security, and easy to manage. Because these are the major five pillars of cloud. If we will be having benefit from that, then we will move toward the cloud. If we will not get any benefit about these kind of five pillars, then we will not move towards the cloud. So what will be the objective of this? So we will be having cloud insurance of applications are always running. So that is related to availability. Like if you think about online shopping website, like when you are shopping online something, so every day or every week, these companies are giving Black Friday or White Friday or something like that. They are announcing something like that. So if this will not be available for that, then there is no use of it. Second, if we will describe reliability and predictability as, if you can take the example, if one data center goes down, what will happen? Like for example, if company is having two locations, one location is down, they can have services from the other location. So that is reliability. But we cannot say that both will be protected. If the whole companies go down, if the whole region goes down, then what we will do? Like one of the center is in Dubai, one of the center is in Sharjah, and there is a problem worldwide ongoing in the whole country. Then what will happen? Both centers will go down. So we don't just need to be reliable. We also need to be predictable. What can happen? There is a location interruption can happen. There is some kind of problem can happen all over the world. So we cannot say that we are just reliable. We need to be predictable also. Then we also need to understand about the security and governance. Like I said, if something happened overall to the country wise, there are some rules and regulations. So companies are securing things, that is okay. But if something happened over the company, like over the country wise, then who will be responsible? The government should be involved. Then we can do the encryption, we can do the firewalls and these kinds of control, but the right people have the right access to the data. Like, for example, if I am sharing my information, personal information to you, you should keep this secret. You should not share with anyone else. Same like companies. If companies are taking data from the customer, like a hospital, they are taking the patient data. So they are not allowed to give data to anyone else. So that is the breach of governance, or that is a breach of compliance. So we will see how we can avoid them. And finally, we will describe in this module manageability in the cloud, like how tools can help us, like monitoring, automate, and optimize. So if you will take the example of this, checking the servers all the time and dashboards, automation tools, like every time we will be sitting around the system and we will be seeing what is ongoing. So this is our agenda in this section. So we will understand about all these benefits of the cloud. Like we can say that five pillars. If these five pillars we can adopt properly, then cloud will give us benefit. If we will not use these pillar properly, or we cannot manage these things, then there is no use of cloud. So that will be costly solution. Number one, number one is high availability. So in general, if we talk about high availability means every time services will be available. Every time when you open something, it should be all the time available. Like if you are making a website and that website is not available sometimes, so customer will complain and customer will go to any other company. They will say that your website is not available. How I can log in and how I can purchase things if the website is not available? So you need to ensure that the availability when needed. Like for example, we are understanding about the security. If we will put too much security on the services, then what will happen? The services will become slow. So people will start complaining. So we are thinking that we are making security in our organization. We are putting encryption algorithm. We are securing our lines. We are doing as much security as we can to secure the data or secure the access. But the other side is availability. If we will put too much security, if we will put too much algorithms on data, how people will access that? Like if you will take example of general purchasing something, or generally you are going to bank, you want to withdraw some money. That is your money. It should be easy to withdraw. But when you are going to the bank, first they are checking physically, then you enter inside the room, then they are checking your ID, then you are going to the counter, and then they are face scanning for you. And after that, they will say that, okay, give me the account number, and so many like procedure they are checking. So that is your money. You should be easily going to the bank. Simple task you need to perform, identify yourself, give the ID, and take the money. So it should be available all the time. It should not be too much security that will be affecting the availability. So these two factors will be always balanced. We need to secure as much as we can, but we need to make sure that availability will not disturb. So we need to ensure the resources are available when needed. It should not be too much complex. Like, for example, you are putting your gold inside the bank. They will put in the locker. Okay, fine. Your locker is there and your gold is secure. But when you are going to take that gold, or you want to go to some marriage or somewhere, so suddenly you just going to the bank and you are taking that gold, but they are taking too much precautions. They are saying who you are, why you need this, and then they will say that, okay, the bank guy will come, someone will go with you, and then you allowed 5 minutes to take that gold. So it's too much procedures will be making unavailability of that things. So that is what we need to avoid. So we need to balance the security plus availability. So next we have focus on maximum uptime. So how we can achieve maximum uptime? We need to get SLA, service level agreements. Like for example, if I am having a contract in one company, and that company is giving me services 99.999%, that is 5 SLA. So that service will be just going down only 1 minute or 2 minutes per month. That is okay. We need to pay. But if I will take 99 only 9.0, so that maybe will be going down for 1 hour per month. So what we need to do, we need to guarantee that the service level agreement is good. It will be having little costly, but service level will be having good SLA. Okay, when developing in an application and IT service, the most important factor is it should be available. Like for example, you are creating something for the customer, and customer is saying that that is not very fast. So that is very good. That is very secure. I am accessing that application. That is good. That is having good interface. But that is not all time available. Sometime when I am opening it, it's taking 1 minute, and sometime when I am opening it, is taking 2 minutes. So that is not a good application. Otherwise, people will say that it is not high available. So that is what you need to consider when you are developing any IT or any IT services. It should be all the time available. Okay, so in Azure, if we will see in terms of cloud, high availability is built into the platform. So now we are discussing about the cloud. how Azure or Amazon or Google are achieving this availability. So they are putting it into the platform automatically or built in. Like you are taking one service or web service from the cloud, they will not say that you have to make availability for that service. No, they will say we will take responsibility for the availability. Like I will put one file in their cloud or one website I will host in their cloud. I will not make two copies or three copies in different region. No, automatically Amazon or Google or Azure will put the two copies and three copies on different location. If one location will go down, automatically it will be available on the second location. So I am just not worried about that. Like previously we understood that if we will be making sure the availability, we need to put three different copies in three different area. Like I gave you the gold example. You want to go to the marriage, you need suddenly the gold, but when you go to the bank and bank is saying that that safe is not available, maybe some security issues or something like that, so you will not be able to get that gold. Or if you went to the bank and you need urgent money but they are saying that service is not working or ATM is not working, so what you will do? So you should be having another ATM or another bank branch or another bank available, so you can just frequently go to the other bank and you can withdraw the money. So there should be second availability option always available from the company side, not from your side. But if you will not use the cloud, you should make sure that availability should be there. Like if you are building your application in-house in your server, then you need to make sure there should be two server or three server, or there should be two buildings or two rooms or separate power supplies, and all these kind of things you need to be considered. But if you will talk about the cloud side, cloud will not say that you need to make availability possible. We will make the possible availability. So that is a very big benefit of using the cloud. So the availability option will be built in into the platform. How they will built in? They will create three copies of data all the time. Whether you are just saving one copy, they will create three copies. If you will create one virtual machine, they will create three different machines in different areas automatically. So that availability will be automatically built into the platform. That is why. And also they will give you the same SLA also. Like they will say that they will give you the contract. If you will take services from us, that SLA will be automatically implemented on that. So you don't need to go for separate sign and all these things. Automatically, when you will sign or you will take the service, this will be automatic SLA. If you will take the example for that, developing the service, Azure guarantee certain percentage of uptime. Like automatically they will say that the availability will be 9.99999%. If you will automatically take the service, they will be making sure that the uptime will be only 1 minute per month, not 1 hour per month. But if you want to make sure that they will use 9.9999, when you will take the service, automatically you will take the SLA, and then you will see that that SLA is working properly. So that is a first and big benefit of using the cloud. Our services will be making sure that the services are always high available because that is built in into the platform of the cloud. So we don't need to worry about the availability of the services. Second, scalability. Obviously, when we will be using our services, so we need to increase the services also. Like first, I was having a small company and I was having only 10 employees. They were just accessing that website or that service. But now I have 200 employees after 6 months or 1 year. My company is growing. So I need to increase the services also. So that is mean by scalability. So adjusting the resources to meet the need. Like now I need 10 services. So how I can increase? If I will be hosting website in my environment, so what I need to do? I need to take another two, three servers, and then I need to make sure that these services are available and these services I can scalable. That is very difficult. But if I am using one services from the cloud, as per need, every month maybe one service, two service, three service I can easily add up, or whenever I don't need I can remove it. So that is mean by scalability. Scalability also have system overhead. Like we can say that system overload during the peak traffic. Like my website is not working properly because my users are increasing every day. They are using more and more and more user. So my website is going to slow. Automatically, if you are using the cloud, they will be adding resources to your service and automatically you will be getting better. Pay as you go. Whenever you will be increasing your services, they will just add some money and then you will also save some money. There are two types of scalability. We can scale vertical or we can scale horizontal. If you have an idea of vertical, vertical means bottom to up or top to down. So that is mean by vertical. If we are going from down to up, that is mean we are increasing the services. That is mean by in. If we are just making down towards, like we are making less resources, that is out. Like for example, if I am using 4 GB RAM for that virtual machine which I have uploaded to the cloud, now I need 8 GB RAM, so I need to increase the RAM from 4 GB to 8 GB. I will just click on the cloud and I will increase the RAM. That will be having upward. And if I want to decrease back to 4 GB again after some time, that will be downward. Or better word, we can use it simply not in and out. We can use it up and down, because it is vertical. So that is what we can do with our resources. If we want to increase the resources, if you want to decrease the resources, then you will always use vertical scaling. Like for example, if you have created one machine and the CPU is going very high, 80% to 85%, your people are complaining about the availability. Your system is not properly available. So you want to increase one more CPU inside that virtual machine. So what you will do, you will go to portal and you will increase the RAM or you will increase the CPU. That is upward vertical scaling. But after some time, you increased, but after that 1 month or 2 months people are not using that frequent, so you can make it down. Your use, so simply you can say that vertically scale down you can also. So whenever you need to increase the resources or decrease the resources, that will be the vertical scaling. Like if you see here, vertical scaling means if you want to increase the CPU or RAM or virtual machines like that, that is the example of vertical scaling. You can increase the RAM or processor or you can decrease the RAM and processor. So what is mean by horizontal scaling then? Horizontal scaling is little different. Like for example, you will go like this and you will go back to this. So this is called out and in scaling. So that was up and down scaling, that is out and in scaling. Out mean, for example, you have one virtual machine and that virtual machine is fully 100% utilized. Now I am not talking about RAM and processor. For example, this virtual machine is 100% utilized. You want to increase another virtual machine like that. This one, and you want to make sure that availability. So you will create another virtual machine. That is called outscaling. Outscaling means you are increasing the instances. Now I am not saying resources, I am saying instances. So what is mean by instance? Instance means number of hardware or number of virtual machines. Like before I was using one virtual machine. Now I have increased one more virtual machine to load balance or maybe to make more improvement in our system. After some time, if load will become more on two virtual machines, I will add another virtual machine. So I am going like this from left to right side. That is called outscaling. But after some time, I don't need this virtual machine. I am just removing the third virtual machine and I am going back to the two virtual machines, one and two only. So third I have deleted. That is mean by in scaling. I am removing the resources which I don't need. Now I am not talking about resources. I am talking about instance, mean number of machines. So here we scale up or scale down the resources like RAM and hard disk and resources, whatever services. But here we can increase the number of instances, number of virtual machines or number of services we can increase and decrease. So that is called scaling in and scaling out. If you see here, I used word here in and out, and here I am using word up and down. Any question in this? Because that is very important, because whenever you will be working in any organization, they will be relying on you. Whenever you need more resources, you will be doing vertical scaling, and whenever you need more hardware, you will be doing horizontal scaling. And when you don't need the resources, you will be doing vertically down. And whenever you don't need multiple systems, you will be horizontally making in. Next, we have reliability and predictability. So what is mean by reliability? Recover from the failure. So recovery means if you are having a system that went down, okay, no problem, system went down, but how frequently or how quickly it will become available after some time, or it will be recover from that. Like for example, you were having one system, some virus came in that system, and after that how much time you will take to recover that system. You will remove the virus, and then maybe you will reinstall the software, or sometime we need to reinstall the windows. That is recovery, or that is recovery from the failure. So if the system is recovering very fast, that means that is reliable system. If it is not recovering fast, that is mean by it is not reliable. So if we will talk about the cloud, so if you see here decentralized design, so it is a decentralized design. Decentralized mean, if for example one system is having five components different, one, two, three, four, five, so that is all have one system. If you will put these five system into one unit, if this unit will go down, all five system will go down. So that is mean by that is a centralized system. So the problem with centralized system is all the components are in the one system. If that system goes down, all the components will go down. What is mean by decentralized system? Decentralized system mean that one component will be on a separate server, second will be on a separate, and third will be on a separate. If this system will go down, the other component will be available from the other system. That is mean by decentralized system. So basically our own local data centers are centralized system which will go down and the other will not be available. But the cloud is decentralized system. So that is why we can say that supported by Azure decentralized global infrastructure. They have different globally reachable data centers. If one data center will go down, the other data center will be available. They will put two copies of two instances, one in one data center and the second one is in second data center. So that is why they will say that if one will fail, automatically that they will shift it to the other data center and automatically it will be fail over. So that is mean by reliability. If the system will not reliable, if you have very good services, but if the system will goes down, there is no alternative available. So the cloud is always very reliable. If you have to see Microsoft well architecture framework, then we will understand that that is always reliable. Second is predictability. Now we make our system reliable and available and secure. So how we can predict something? Something we can predict on the performance and cost level, like how our system is behaving, what is the performance of that, and how this system is costing us. If it is costing too much, we will not use that system. If it is very less costly, then maybe it is not secure. So we need to balance these two also. So predictability, we will check according to the performance and cost. Number one, performance. So ensure the consistent customer experience. Like for example, if I am having 100 customers and every day 50 customers are complaining that your services are not available, that is that is not a good performance about the system. So we can predict that after some time, maybe it will go to 70% or 30% or 40% or whatever the range. So we can predict something. So that is why we have to put auto scaling, load balancing, and high availability. These kind of features are all available inside the cloud. So we can predict that if one day customers are complaining, we will improve the services, we will auto scale, or we will load balance, or we will put high availability. So the cloud will be giving us good performance. So we can predict that today the performance is 90%. Tomorrow it will be performance 92%, 93%, 94%. So we can predict, and we can also predict the cloud services through some availability portals. So we can monitor all the day, and we can say that the predictability graph is going up, so performance is increasing. After that, we can also predict things through the cost, like track usage in real time. Every day we will see which service is costing us more. Like I am using 10 services, 9 services are costing $2 every day, but the 10th service is costing me $10 every day. So I will see why it is charging more. So maybe I can remove that service because it is costing us more than 9 services. So that is always tracking the usage of the services. For example, I am putting 10 GB data every day on the storage on the cloud. Now that storage is becoming full, but that data is not usable. I am just copying everyday data on the cloud. That is costing me much. But if I will be checking the services every day, what I will see, okay, that data is not required. So I will archive that data or maybe delete that data. That is not costing us anymore. So we have to forecast data, we have to analytic data, and then there are different TCO calculators or pricing calculators. In our session 6, we will see these two calculator also whenever we will be purchasing some services. So we will calculate that how much price it will be buying the service and how much cost it will be taking after that. So that is how we can predict the cost also. So predictability is based on the performance and also both cost. So if we will not predict as per performance, it will be low performance. If we will not consider the cost, it will be high cost. So we need to balance these two also. So we need to predict the system which will be medium performance wise be, and also it should be cost wise also balanced. If we will increase the cost, performance will go down, or if we will increase the performance, maybe cost will be having issues. So this always have a balance each other also. Next we have in terms of performance and cost, there is analysis. How we can analyze these two things. Number one, performance, and number two, predictability. Like, for example, if you will say that applications are consistently deliver a smooth experience, then the performance is okay. Like every day, I am logging into the system and I am checking that system is behaving fine, the graph is going balanced, then the predictability I can make performance is good. But if I am logging in every day, one day CPU is going to 80% and the second day CPU is going 20%, that is very dangling. So if the performance I want to predict, I need to see every day and I need to make a graph. It is going smooth every day, then there is no problem. So what I will do, I will just automate the system. And if the RAM will go down, it will remove the resources like we understood about the scaling. I want to add the machine and I want to remove the machine. So I will automate the scaling. If the performance is very high, then I will remove the other reset. So I will be getting less cost. But if I will be having problem with the performance, then maybe I can increase more instances. So performance automatically will relate it to the load balancing, and also it will be related to the scaling. So sometime for the performance we need to have load balancing, but sometime we need to increase the resources and we need to decrease the resources like scalability. Then we have cost predictability. It is important a performance knowing at what you will spend. Like for example, if you are already using your own local data center servers, that is having $1,000 maybe per month, but you paid one time money. Now you are purchasing services from the cloud, but that is also costing you more than 1,000 per month. So there is no use of cloud. So you should save the money, and how much you are spending to the cloud is also matter. Because if you are paying more money than local data center, there is no use of going to the cloud. So that will be always beneficial to go to the cloud. It will be lower cost and it will be lower spending. So that is what we can do. We will be using total cost of ownership or total cost of ownership calculator before taking the service. Like for example, you are going to the market and you want to buy some shoes. So before going to the market, you will sit over the internet and you will see the prices. Then you will go to the market. Like you will calculate, if I will buy shoes from Bata, that will be 100. If I will buy shoes from service, that will be 150. So before going to the market, you will be calculating all the costs. Then you will take that money and you will go to the market. Same like here, if we want to predict the prices, first we will use these calculator. We will see that okay, we want to use 20 services. That 20 services will be costing this much money. We will take the approval and then we will go to the cloud and then we will buy these services. So these pricing calculator we will see in the pricing section of fifth or sixth session, then we will understand properly. But for the benefit of this, if we will not calculate this one, that will be giving us disadvantage. But if we will calculate proper prices, that will be giving us benefit. So reliability and predictability, we always ensure that these two methods. Next, we have number five, security. Security benefits are there. Like we understood last time, there are three services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So if we will see the security in terms of security, automatically it will be maximum security for AR services, infrastructure as a service. Like like yesterday, we understood about the responsibility model. If we will go for the infrastructure as a services, we will not responsible about the hardware. We will be only responsible about the software. So infrastructure as a service, security will be more like OS patches, software, and these kind of things. But if we will go for the PaaS or SaaS, provider manage the security update automatically. So we will not ensure that we will manage the software updates and all that. So if we want to talk about the security, infrastructure as a services, we need to manage the security. We understood in responsibility model yesterday. 70% responsibility of security will be on us. 30% will be responsible by the Microsoft because we are purchasing cheap services, infrastructure as a service. But if we will purchase platform as a service or software as a service, we will be only responsible for our data. We will not be responsible about the security. So security will be provided by the Microsoft. Like for example, nowadays these attacks are common DDoS attacks. If someone will attack, automatically Microsoft will be providing us the security. So we don't need to worry about our application will crash or something like that. Because we are paying to them, they will automatically manage the security. So in terms of cloud, we need to think about if we are purchasing infrastructure as a service, we will be having less security and we need to manage things ourselves. We need to put firewall and security things. But if we are paying little more, we are using PaaS and SaaS services, then we don't need to worry about the security. Automatically, Microsoft will be managing the security. Then we have governance. Governance means if something happened to our data, someone stole our data or someone stole our identity, who will be responsible? If cloud is saying that we are not responsible, then after that, who will be? So government should be involved. Like if it's a centralized update, it's a cloud auditing, automatic patches or update. So these kind of things will be compliance with the standard and regulations. Like for example, Microsoft is saying when you will put your data in our cloud, your data will be compliant. Compliant means there will be some rules and regulations applied automatically from the government on that data. If someone will steal your data, then the government should be involved. Like, for example, you have taken one service app from the cloud, you are every day logging into your bank account and you are saving your username and account detail on the cloud. If someone will steal that information or the cloud service provider will give this information to someone else, government will catch that company. They will say you are not compliant. You are not restricting people to get this data. So governance and compliance automatically will be applied on the cloud. If someone will be doing these things, there will be cloud auditing also. So they will be responsible for your data. So what is the key takeaway from this? Secure, compliant, and well managed. If you will think about the benefits of the cloud, cloud will always secure, cloud will be compliant, and cloud will be well managed. If you will be doing security, obviously there will be problem. If you will be managing your data, government will not involve. Your data will not be compliant. But if you are putting data to the cloud, automatically rules will be applied and that will be compliant from the government. And if you will be managing the data, maybe you can make mistake and you can delete data. But if you will put on the cloud, that will be well managed. Like for example, you cannot arrange a function by yourself. So you will give someone money, they will arrange the function. And they will arrange very good because they are professional. Same like here. If we cannot manage data properly, we will put it on the cloud. Automatically, Microsoft will be managing these data. So the security and the governance and management, it will be better on the cloud other than if you will be doing yourself. Finally, what is the benefit for that? So benefit of governance, we already understood that make sure that the resources follow the company standard and government regulation. So these are the two main point we have discussed. So it will be under the rules or under the policies of the company also. And the second thing, it will be under the rules of the government. Like for example, if I am working in a hospital and hospital is taking the data from the customer, some rules will be applied from the hospital. So no employee can share the data. But if someone will be sharing the data, government rules will be also applied on that. Like for example, you are working in a hospital, you can take from your friend inside the hospital some information about my details, and then you can share it with someone else. That is not regulated. So you will be coming under the law. You cannot share this information according to the company policy and standard also, and according to the government regulation also. So that is why we have to do this. Another governance is cloud auditing. We already understood cloud auditing. Who is doing what? Who is stealing information? That will be audited. So if you will do this, so government will catch you. Government will say why you did this, why you share the information for that. So always governance will be having cloud auditing. And then security, obviously. Security will be maximum control. They will be putting infrastructure as a service allowed to manage the operating system patches and all that. For example, we have discussed if you will take infrastructure as a service, there will be less security from cloud side, but still they will be providing you some patches, some hardware update and all that. So that doesn't mean that infrastructure as a service have no security. There will be security, but it will be more on your side and less on. But if you will be using PaaS and SaaS, then most of the security will be provided by the company side or cloud side. And if there will be any attack, automatically cloud service provider will block that attack. And then if you will be having governance framework or if you will be compliant to manage, then company will be responsible for that. We will not be responsible. That is the big benefit from the cloud. That is secure and that is under the government. And last point is manageability. Manageability means if you cannot manage your services, you can just put it on the cloud. Cloud will be managing for that. So there are two types of manageability. One is management of the cloud, and the second is management in the cloud. So if you see these two words, management of the cloud and management in the cloud. So see the difference. Like off the cloud mean managing the resources, and in the cloud mean managing the environment or access. I will give you very simple example in this both. For example, you hosted a website on the cloud that is off the cloud, like you are managing these resources. But if someone else is accessing your website, like your website, I am accessing from outside. So who will manage my access? How I will log into your website? how I will manage your, how I will use your environment, that is also need to be managed. Like you created your resources, you are managing your resources, that is management of the cloud. You are managing for that service. But I am as a client accessing your website, I am the client, I am your client. So that is management in the cloud. So both are very important. Service to manage itself is important, and how people are accessing from outside, it's also managed. So these two aspects of manageability both are responsibility of the cloud side. Both will be managed by the cloud service provider, who is managing your services also and who is accessing your services also. Both will be managed. So if requires auto scaling, they will be doing auto scaling also. If there is a performance or a pre-configured template, they will be using for that. Monitor the resources health, auto replace, or receive real-time alerts and based on the metrics. So these kind of all things will be managed by the cloud side. So that is management of the cloud. But if you will talk about management in the cloud, like a web portal, like a CLI, API, PowerShell, so different kind of services inside the portal, they will also manage. That is management in the cloud. Like they are also managing your portal. They are also doing commands and APIs and PowerShell things. So these kind of two manageability on the cloud, you can also manage and the cloud service provider can also manage. So that is what we have to understand about the management of the cloud and management in the cloud. So what is the takeaway from that? Makes both resources management and environment management simple, automated, and efficient. Like for example, another example, I want to put this material on the cloud or Google Drive somewhere. So who will be managing these? I will be managing because I am putting this material on the Google Drive. But that is not enough. If I will just put this data on the Google Drive, I am also managing this data. But when I am sharing this information with you, for example, now you want to log into that cloud or Google Drive and you want to access that data. If you will not be able to access that data, that is the problem. That is management in the cloud. Or if I am not putting the security on data, you can delete that data as a user. That is also a problem. So I need to manage both. First, I need to manage the data like I am uploading these file to the cloud or Google Drive. That is the management of the cloud. I am managing all my files and all that. But when I am giving someone else access, like I am giving my folder access to you, you can log into my drive and you can download the data. But if I will not put security there, maybe you will delete my file. So that is management in the cloud. So these kind of two things will be managed by the cloud service provider. They will give you the management of the cloud and they will also give you management in the cloud. Like you can also manage the users, passwords, user access, user management, user environment, everything. Like it's not a one way, it's a two-way thing. Any question until here? So you understand about the manageability. So manageability is to manage the cloud also and to manage the access also. If you cannot manage both of them, there is no use of cloud. So that is also a big benefit of the cloud. You can put your resources to the cloud and you can manage those resources also. And those resources, if someone want to access, you can also give access and you can also manage the access. So these are the two aspects of your data over the cloud. So these two benefits will become under the manageability. So finally, if we will just summarize this module, so first we understood what is mean by this module. We understood about all the key points of the benefits of the cloud. Number one, we have understood about the availability. Our system, our cloud should be always available, and that is by default feature of the cloud. We don't need to make two copies or three copies. We will just save simply our data to the cloud. They will create more copies. So that is by default feature. So for that, we will get an SLA. Second point is scalability. Obviously, whenever we need to increase the resources, we will do horizontal scaling. Whenever we need to increase the number of like instances, then we will do the horizontal scaling. And whenever we need to increase or decrease RAM or processor, we will do the vertical scaling. So the cloud is very flexible. Whenever you want to do horizontal scaling, like number of instances, you can increase. Whenever you want to decrease the number of hardware, you can decrease also. Or whenever you increase the RAM or processor, you can increase anytime. Whenever you want to decrease to save the cost, you can decrease. So that scalability is very, very important benefit of the cloud. Third is reliability and predictability. Obviously, we see that system should be reliable. We are purchasing the services doesn't mean that we are putting more security and security and security on the cloud. So the services will not be reliable. If one site goes down, there should be another site from the cloud. So cloud provider will always provide you reliable system. If one site goes down, automatically the other site will be there. And we can also predict things as per the cost and performance. Like if we will check everyday performance, if the performance is good, it means our system is predictable. If the performance is behaving like dangling someday up, someday down, that the performance is not good. But the cloud will give you a good performance. Every day you can see the portal and you can manage the cost and performance. And then if we will discuss about security and governance, obviously, if we will use infrastructure as a services, we will be having more control of the security and the system will be having less susceptible to the security. But if we will be using PaaS and SaaS services, we will not manage security more, they will be managing. And also they will be having government rules and regulations. Finally, manageability. If we will be having manageability, so there are two type of manageability available. One is in the cloud and one is off the cloud. Totally we can move the resources and totally we can control the access of the thing. So before winding up, if you have any question in these any point, then we can discuss and then we will move toward the domain 4.